30 seconds.
Hey, it's time. Yes, it's finally about time to do this thing.
20 seconds.
I can't believe it's been 9 months since the final episode of season 1. And now we're about to make our grand return. I know how you feel. But anyways, let's go ahead and get to the stage before the producer fusses about everything. Yeah, you're right.
10 seconds. Oh, you were just in time. You guys ready?
Definitely.
Good, because we are live in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hello, you guys. How is everyone doing today? It's your boy Derek here. And oh my freaking God. It's about time. It has been 9 freaking months since we posted the season 1 finale. And now, 9 months later, here we are. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 13, the season 2 premiere of the DTG Logo History Show. That is right, everybody. This is the season 2 premiere of the DTG Logo History Show, or DTGLH for short. Now, some of you may be asking, hey, Derek, are you just going to be using Wikipedia and just showing us only one logo from each company? And also, just tell us the info without revealing your face? Yes, but on some particular situations, no. I'm not just going to be using Wikipedia. Don't worry, I'm still going to be using it. This time, we are using the help of the Audiovisual Identity Database, or AVID. And as of course, this series is based off the PTLE series and the HLTOL series, and also the Logo Evolution series. So shout out to Alden, Marigold, and Vibeform for inspiring me to do this series. And don't worry, we got some very, very great logos to come. And as of course, it's not just me gonna be hosting this series. Say hello to my good old co-host, the co-CEO of Microsoft Tell Pictures, Mr. Bradley Stardew. Hey yo, everybody, what is up? Again, it is me, Bradley, and I'm so excited to be co-hosting season 2 once again. Now, I'm here to reveal a topic for season 2. That's right, each season will have topics, and every logo will be centered around that topic. We've been thinking about doing topics since season 1, because most of the episodes of season 1 we do are mostly TV channels. So why not we center around some topics? So, what's this topic for season 2, you may ask? Well, since season 1 focused on TV channels, and episode 9 focused on only a movie studio, only because it was Columbia Pictures' 100th anniversary. So the topic for season 2 will be movie studios. That's right, movie studios will be the topic for this season. So, what is this company we're going to be doing for the season 2 premiere, you may ask? Well, Derek will tell you all about everything. Also, before we get started with this logo, please know that episodes of this series, along with some other series on my channel, will come out whenever I feel like making an episode. which is somewhere like my homemade sporadic schedule. So please keep that in mind, on my channel. So anyways, what is that movie studio we're going to be doing for the season 2 premiere? Well, you're about to find out. What is that movie studio we're going to be doing for the season 2 premiere? Well, the movie studio that we're about to do is RKO Pictures. That's right, people. RKO Pictures is the logo we're going to be doing for episode 13, aka the season 2 premiere. So we're going to go ahead and get everything set up, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, we are back and we got everything set up. And instead of me doing all the talking of the logo histories for the entire season, I will pass it down to Brad. Really? Thanks, Derek. No problem, bud. Are you ready to tell the logo history of RKO? I'm ready. Okay, here I go. Whew, here we go.
RKO Pictures, commonly known as simply RKO, is an American film, television and stage production company that is currently owned by Concord. In its original incarnation, founded in 1929 as RKO Radio Pictures Incorporated, it was a member of the Big Five film studios of Hollywood's golden age. They ceased operations in 1959, but it was revived in 1981. The business was formed after the Keith Albee Orpheum Theater chain and Joseph P. Kennedy's Film Booking Offices of America studio were brought together under the control of the Radio Corporation of America, RCA, in October 1928. RCA executive David Sarnoff engineered the merger to create a market for the company's sound-on-film technology, RCA Photophone, and in early 1929 production began under the RKO name, an initialism of Radio Keith Orpheum. 2 years later, another Kennedy concern, the Pathé Studio, was folded into the operation. By the mid-1940s, RKO was controlled by investor Floyd Odlum. But however, in the 1950s, the company met some difficulties, because in May 1948, eccentric aviation tycoon and occasional movie producer Howard Hughes spent $8.8 million to gain control of the RKO company, beating out British film magnate J. Arthur Rank for Odlum's stake. But then in July 1955, Howard Hughes sold RKO Radio Pictures to General Teleradio, the media unit of the General Tire and Rubber Company, for $25 million, causing the company to be renamed to RKO Teleradio Pictures. The company did not last long due because it shut down in January 1957 and the television rights to the entire RKO Radio Pictures library were sold to CNC Television Corporation, although RKO does maintain the copyrights. Right after the 1957 shutdown, RKO Teleradio was renamed as RKO General under the General Tire and Rubber Company. This incarnation of RKO Pictures did not produce films. Instead, they handled the distribution of RKO Radio Pictures films to RKO General television stations. CNC Television Corporation purchased the television distribution rights, but only for markets that had no RKO General station. But then in 1981, the company was revived under the RKO Pictures name. In 1984, General Tire's media holdings were reorganized to form GenCorp, with RKO General remaining as a subsidiary. A hostile takeover was attempted in 1987 on GenCorp, and RKO Pictures was spun off and sold to Westray Capital Corporation, who then spun off the company in 1989. The studio was then acquired by and merged with Pavilion Communications, then owned by actress Tina Merrill and her husband, film producer Ted Hartley. Merrill died in 2017, leaving Hartley as RKO's sole owner. In June 2025, Concord Originals purchased RKO from Hartley, who will remain involved in the company.
Alright people, that's all with the history. And now, we're going to move on to the logos. The first logo looks like this. It's called The Transmitter, and it was seen from July 1929 until March of 1959. Some versions of this say a radio picture, and some other variants say an RKO radio picture. I will show you guys a few videos of this. This logo has some very primitive 1920s animation here, in my opinion. Out of 10 for this? I give this a 9. But anyways, let's move on to the other logo. The next logo is gonna be like a closing logo. It looks like this. It's called the Early Thunderbolt. Some images say radio pictures, and some others say RKO radio pictures. Let me show you a few videos. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, since this was a closing version of the first logo, both of these logos seem very common. So out of 10, I'd give this an 8 out of 10. The next logo we're gonna review is the one logo where RKO Pictures was sold to General Teleradio, causing the studio to be renamed to RKO Teleradio. And their only logo is this. It's called The Wave, and it was only seen in 1956. Let me show you a video of it. Okay, I ain't gonna lie to you, this logo has got some very corny animation, which makes this logo cheesier than the first logo we reviewed. Anyways, let's get on with the next logo. Okay, for these next two logos, things start to calm down a bit, although these next two logos are kind of boring. The next logo from RKO was the only logo that had no footage, but someone actually found footage of it. And the logo I'm talking about is this one. It's called Transmitter on Tube, and was introduced in 1959 and retired in 1962. Let me show you a video of it. Okay, y'all, so this is a very decent kind of logo. The logo might appear in some early 1960s television prints of RKO Radio Pictures films, but we're not entirely sure. But anyways, time to move on to the next logo. Just like the previous logo, it's a still one. But this next logo is a boring one. It is also going to be a still one. And the logo I'm talking about is this one. It's called the RKO Square, and it was seen in 1966. Let me show you a few videos of this. Okay, let me tell y'all something. The RKO square itself, it's a pretty interesting idea, but the logo itself is kind of boring. Can't they just add some animation and music in it? But anyways, time to move on to the next logo. Anyways, when the company was revived in 1981, their next logo consisted of both animation and music. But, however, it turned out to be the scariest logo from RKO. And the logo I'm talking about is this one. It's called the 80s Thunderbolt, and it was seen from 1981 to 1987. Let me show you a few videos of this. Okay, let me tell y'all a bit of something. This logo doesn't scare me, but it will scare some people, mainly to do with the really weird music, including the cheesy animation. But I think the part that will get the people is the random bam noise in the middle of it. But overall, you can definitely tell it's from the 80s. But anyways, time to move on to the next logo. Okay guys, so this next logo will be like an improvement of the 1929 and the 1981 logo. And the logo I'm talking about looks like this. It's called the 80s transmitter, and it was used from 1987 to 1992. Let me show you a video of it. Okay, let me be real with y'all. This logo is still cheesy, and the beeps may still get some people. It's sometimes people's favorite logo. Anyways, time to move on to the next. Anyways, this next logo from RKO, if you can even call it a logo, is rather super boring. And the logo looks like this. I'll be calling it Boring RKO. It was seen in October of 1992. Look at this. It's not any kind of logo, it's just some text. There's not much to say about this, but there's no animation nor music. So we're going to move swiftly on to the next logo. Okay, so we moved on from that boring logo, and here is the next logo. I will be calling it the 90s transmitter. It was only seen in 1992. Let me show you a video of it. Okay, let me be real, this is not my favorite logo. It is very interesting compared to the 1987 logo. It would have been actually more nicer to see this logo more in the 90s, but was only seen either once or twice. But anyways, let's move on to the next and final logo. Alright, the next and final logo is the definite one we should all be able to recognize. And it looks a bit like this. It's called the CGI transmitter, and it was first introduced in 1998, and it was last seen in 2015. Let me show you a video of it. This is probably the most second well-liked logo from RKO. I certainly like it. Well, in my opinion. Let's move on to the actual final logo. Anyways, what do you mean actual final logo? Well, back in 2009, RKO released another logo which would only be seen on their website. And it looks a bit like this. It's called the CGI Transmitter 2 and was seen from 2011 until its rebrand in 2018. Okay, let me be real with y'all. This logo is very well made and will be nice and seen in RKO's future films. But they don't release a lot of films anymore. Their latest one was released in 2015. I promise y'all, they're not dead. They're still alive. So you could say that they're kind of like a semi-inactive film company. Regardless, we are looking forward to see what RKO releases in the future in terms of their films and in terms of their logos. And they had a really long and complicated history. But anyways, that's all for the logos. That's going to be it for this logo history, everyone. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching the Season 2 premiere of the DTG Logo History Show. Premiering the show after 9 months of hiatus has been such a huge dream of mine to get back into the logo community and just to connect with other people. And anyways, if you did enjoy this episode, please don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're almost at 600 subscribers. And finally, ring the bell so you can get notified when we upload a brand new episode. And as always, if you like some of the logos you saw in today's episode, make sure you comment down below to tell us your favorite logo from the company. And we'll be hearting it. So anyways, hope to see you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye.